Hi, and welcome to Stitch Party of One. My name is Darlene King, and this is my fourth Flosstube video. And I'm glad I would have posted earlier, but I didn't have any progress to show. So I've been trying to get some progress this week on my pieces. And this is where I've gotten with the dampy sod. As you can see, the delineation, boy, that's a $5 word, isn't it? The delineation is able to be seen. However, I have a request. If I ever start talking about filling in full crosses and all on an area like that again, somebody please beat me over the head with something soft until I come to my senses. I'm having flashbacks to Celestial Navigation and all that 336 blue. That green really got on my nerves, so I went to work on Ice Skater Girl. This is by Ellen Morstrow. Now, I miscounted somehow right here. And so she's got an extra line here. And so I'm having to, I filled in the bottom. I got some more of the back stitching done. And I got her lips and her nose. I got her eyes in. But past this point, I have to drop everything one row. I thought about fudging it. Not willing to do it. It'll be just easier to take it out and restitch it than to fix, to maneuver all that. Sometimes it's just easier to rip it out and redo. And I also had to take out her hair because her hair wasn't coming out right, and it was definitely not going to come out right once I moved all this down one row. So, yeah, them's the breaks. She's been a handful, but so as far as starts, I just started a secret stitch that I can't show anyone because I do know the person has been watching my videos. And it is a gift, and I'm personalizing it. And I spent this afternoon pulling threads to personalize and getting it started. And putting some of my flosses back where they belong because I've been doing things and finishing things out and not putting the flosses back, and then I go to look for a certain color and it's not there. I use the floss bags, and it's a working system, but Minnie with the Northern Virginia Stitchers Group has a much better system, and I'm looking to try that somewhere down the road because it's just too bulky doing it this way. And I hate bobbins. I mean, I don't hate bobbins. I hate bobbinating. And I like just being able to throw the bits and pieces back in. So everybody's been gaga over Maynia, and I wasn't going to do it this year. Last year I did Maynia. I did not do all 15 days, but I did do 5. I figured 5 for 5 by 5 it works. So I started a new project every day for the first 5 days of Maynia, and then I spent several months finishing them up, because they were a lot of them were like 5 by 7 freebie charts that I had found and I wanted to do, and I'll be showing them to you in my unfinished pieces at a later date. But I decided, you know what? I have a lot of tiny, tiny kits on 18 count, which, Lord help me, I really detest 18 count fabric. And this is my third time trying to, third or fourth time trying to do this. So I thought, you know what? I have all these little charts and I really want to do them. I mean, I've had some of them around for over a decade and just haven't even started. And I just finished that wizard and I really like it. Don't particularly like working on plastic canvas or using 6 strands, but like the 18 count, if I like it and it, and there's a reason for it, I'll do it. I'll do it because in the end, I will be happy. I mean, obviously, I love the chart. I could do it in 14 count, but in some instances, I want to use the frame that's included. If you get the little hanger kits like this one, this is one of my Maynia starts. These hangers always break, but if they have the oval or the round frames, I really like to use them. And the only way you can is to do the 18 count. So, so this is one of the ones I'm looking to do. This is a more recent one by Janlin. Somebody Loves You. And I just thought that was cute. Told you I had other wizard kits, and this was one of them. Now, I'm not a red person. I do have red around, but I'm looking to change the color of the red and the blue bow and all. But Born to Shop is not my bailiwick. Shopping is. I always joke that I'm the youngest of 4 girls. And by the time I was born, all the shopping gene was used up. I don't mind going shopping with someone, someone I can bounce ideas off of, like my niece or my sisters. But overall, I don't like shopping. I'll sit at home and shop over the computer before I'll go to the mall. In fact, it's been a running joke, like I'd get a gift certificate or something from a store at the mall, and I'd be like, tell my sister, like, I went to the mall for this. You just don't understand how much I love you. If you don't think I love you, I went to the mall for this. And she's like, yeah, I get it. But this is also a wizard. This is Sugar Plum Express, which is also Janlin. This is Now I Lay Me. And yeah, I like bunnies. Not necessarily real life bunnies, but I like cute little stitched bunnies and cats. This is a heart and hand that I've had for several years. If you would call these snowmen like Herbert, you can't see Herbert too well. He's teeny tiny. But I got Bernard because I love that hat. I'm not I didn't want quite so Christmassy, so I'm thinking about changing the hat to like something that's pink and purple, calling it Bernice instead. But I love this little snowman, and I actually kind of like Herbert, but not as much as I liked him. And I think there's an Albert too, but they're just not all. None of them are Bernard. And I am also doing this one. Now, this is not a miniature per se, but it is small. I'm not going to do it in the black work. I mean, in the silhouette. I've got extra colors. I'm going to blend these for the gold in the body and use a variegated green. I might need to buy more variegated green. There ain't much there. We'll see. And I'm not going to do this. They've got it on ivory linen. And I've got some ivory material. But I've got this piece. It's a really pale green. And it's linen. And I have no idea what count it is because it didn't have a tag on it. But it's a really pale green. I'm leaving it up like this because I figured out where the top is supposed to be. And that way I'll know. So I thought that with colors would just pop. It'd pop with the black too, but I think that'll look real nice. So that's actually more than 5, but I'll probably drop one of them somewhere down the road. So, you know, I'm flexible. I can be flexible. Just for fun, I showed you my framed pieces last time, and I was going to show you my pillows. This is a nice little bread basket that someone gave me. I was buying some other stuff from them, yard sale type stuff. And I picked up the basket and I said, how much would it? They said, you can just have it. I said, oh, okay. I'm just going to go through them real fast. The first one I have, and Pan Meet Your Heart Out, in a Canadian. That is a Dove piece. This is a Christmas kit. This was a really inexpensive Christmas kit, like 10 count. It didn't let it snow. I've got some of these up on my Picturetrail under DarSue, if anyone wants to look at it further. And it's dated. Some of these I don't have dates on. This was from the I've Got Your Number booklet, which also had a sampler I liked. But I moved the moon over so he'd be more of a silhouette. This is from the Friendship is a Flowering Tree booklet, and I do not remember which company that's by. It's just a little girl in a floppy hat and a pinafore with little daisies up here. And I put Happy Just Being Me on it. Daisies are one of my favorite flowers. So this one, I think this is a character over in the UK, the little mouse is. This was a kit. I really didn't care for the frame too much. I was okay with the flower being red, but the frame being red too. And I know I'm canceling myself out because I've got it in a red tuck pillow. But this was a DMC freebie, I believe, for Valentine's. And this is my absolute favorite miniature. Ask Me If I Care. I actually had this thumbtacked onto my bulletin board at work. They knew I cared. I was just being facetious, but sometimes I care too much, and that gets me into trouble. But this is Fat and Sassy. This is from 49 Bunnies Overnighters, One-Nighters leaflet. And this was a gift from Doris in Virginia for Christmas. Happy Everything. This is a Pine Mountain kit. And that's it. Tech pillows were all the rage about 15 years ago, and I bought like a dozen of them. Yeah, I think there's like three floating around here somewhere. And I like them, and I like that you can change them out. I actually came up with the idea of a wall hanging with several tuck entries, like a window pane, and which I've shown to several quilters, and they don't get the concept, except my niece did. My niece is a quilter, and she looked at it, she says, it's a window pane quilt, only you insert the pieces. I said, yeah. So you leave the insides blank. I'd show you, but right now it's folded up in a bag. I got like half done, and I decided to switch out the original inside material just to muslin, and I haven't done that. It's all clipped together with quilt clips right now, and that's something I promised Coffee Stitcher I would. This is what I use for. These were severely overpriced too, because they were licensed as quilt clips, and you can get them in stainless steel. I think they're stainless steel, and you can buy them a lot cheaper in the jewelry findings department at Michael's. But they are basically the hair barrettes. But they were marketed as quilt clips, so you don't have pins. And this is what I use for any, if I'm using a project on a Q-snap and I have some extra material, I will roll it up and clip it with these. But I think a little package of them, I think I got like 30 or so for like $6.99. Lord knows I used to keep on that, but you can get 3 times that much for like $4, regular price. Just make sure these are. Let me see here. Yeah, these are 2 inches long. You want to make sure you get the larger ones though. But these are just the interlocking barrettes. Let's see. I want to give a shout out to Danielle and kudos for all the cube finishes she's been getting done with the coffee and all. I actually have something similar to her cube, to her hanger, but I need to make it. I need to put hangers on it, but I do have a like a knick-knack shelf. It's 8-sided, and it was I bought it at one of the Amish shows around here. It's handmade, and so I was thinking that might be a good idea to kind of use that to display too. I'm looking forward to watching Vanna's finishing flat fold finish tutorial, because I could do wall hangings. I mean, I could finish something up as a flat wall hanging, like a pot holder, okay? But I want a rigid background. I mean, I don't want a soft thing. I want to put mat board behind it. And so I'm basically looking for a flat fold with a hanger on it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that. Gerald Ginger Stitcher. I always get that backwards. Anyway, he mentioned that he watched the new series of Lost in Space, and my husband and I watched it also, and it was very good. So I highly recommend it. And I apologize to Bill Mooney. I totally missed his cameo. It must have been a blink and you miss it type thing, like the Stan Lee ones or something, but I totally missed it. I couldn't have left the room for more than 2 minutes at a time, like to get a drink from the kitchen or something, but somehow I missed his cameo, and I'm not going to watch all the episodes over again just so I can see his cameo. I'm sorry, Bill. Let's see. I need to check out the La Luna Nocturne series that Michelle Bendistitchy showed us on hers, because it's the moon. I've got to go look at least. I mentioned buying something, but to be honest, I really need some boots I can work out in the yard with when things are wet, because I don't have any. It's like all my shoes are too small now, all my around the house type shoes. And I thought, well, I might as well get some like rain boots, garden boots. So other stuff may have to wait, because with all the rain we've had lately, and right now is a good time if you got some nice waterproof shoes to go out and get all those dandelions out while you can. So I am looking to have a small square foot type garden this year. Just 6 things though. Tomatoes. I haven't had fried green tomato sandwiches except for what my sister, gave me a few. But I really miss my fried green tomatoes. And I know fried is not good for me, but I try to be healthy about it. I did try baking them, and that didn't work. But I want tomatoes and peppers. Green peppers. We use a lot of green peppers, and we pay 69 cents a piece for them at the grocery store, and that adds up over the course of the year. And also, here's a tip, and this is something I learned from a Filipino lady that worked with my husband. You can strip the leaves at the end of the season. You just strip them off the plants, the pepper plants, and wash them well, and and pat them dry. Put them in Ziploc bags in the freezer, and you can pull them out, use them in soups and stews and whatever you like, and it gives you the same taste and the same benefits as the peppers do, because the peppers are largely water. So she told me, I'm telling you, that's a good thing to know. Something we've been missing for a long time. One year we did different types of basil, and we fell in love with lemon basil. So I want to get a lemon basil plant. And I pulled up all the catnip. So I don't think it's coming back up. I mean, I cleared everything last year. So I would like, and definitely basil, catnip, have it in a container, because it spreads like wildfire. Spreads like wildfire. Also, some mint would be nice. Nah, I don't need mint. That's something else that you want to have in a container and not directly into the ground. But looking forward to Maynia. looking forward to summer. Getting some plants out this year, which we didn't do last year. And I have to say, bless my husband, he took the mower in and to work and sharpened the blades and cleared up all the gunk in the wheels and oiled it, and we gave it a trial run this week, and it did beautifully. It ran beautifully. It cut beautifully. I was like, all last year I mowed with dull blades, and I can't say enough for sharpened blades. Anyhow, that's it for this floss tube. I want to thank all of you who have contacted me. Oh, before I forget, the lady contacted me because I had spoken about fobs, about making the stitched fobs, and yes, I do have several charts, plans for stitch fobs for ID purposes only, though, but I use them as a counterweight. Please excuse my cheap scissors. They're nice and sharp and they cut well, but they won't stay together. I use them as a counterweight, and the stitch ones aren't heavy enough. And I'm sorry I did not answer you directly. I will try to pop back in and answer you directly on that. But I want to thank everyone who's watched and all of you who have subscribed. I'm really tickled. I love doing this. It is lonely stitching alone, but I feel like I can log in and stitch and listen to you and feel like I'm with my community. And I really appreciate everyone that thinks that my endeavors are worth listening to and watching. It means a lot to me. And I wish I could watch all of you, but unfortunately, I just don't have hours in the day. And that's partially why I appreciate y'all watching me. And I try not to keep these too long for that reason, because we're all short on time. We're all busy. And if we can just sit down and turn on the floss tube and listen, and interact with another stitcher, even if it's one-sided, it's really nice. So until next time, goodbye.